Because of our away format, though, it puts pressure on our home games, don't you think? It puts pressure on us to actually keep winning at home, because if we don't and we drop points at home, suddenly away defeats become a big problem, don't they? Welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue. Now, after what can only be described as a underwhelming performance in our last game away at the Hawthorns against West Bromwich Albion, Birmingham City returned back to St.Andrews at KnightHeadPark in the next game when we faced Watford. Now, in our last 3 games, we've scored 4 goals at home, and we'll be hoping for another good performance and really sort of get ourselves back on track after that sort of stale performance against West Brom. But Matt, always a good game against Watford, I think, when they come to town.
I've seen a decent amount of Watford this season. They look a good team, you know. I think both teams come into this after a 1-1 draw. We drew 1-1 away at West Brom. Watford drew 1-1 at home to Preston. And I said I've been keeping an eye on Watford in terms of the goals they've been scoring and some key players and stuff. And they don't half play some good football, you know. I think when they really turn it on, they play some really quite sleek and sexy football. I think they're a dangerous team, but they're also a vulnerable team. There's kind of like two sides of the scale here. And after their 1-1 draw against Preston, I went onto the social media. The top liked comment was, some good football that's easy on the eye, but we have to win games like this against poor opposition. So I think the fans even acknowledge they are capable of playing some very sleek, sexy one-touch football, you know, good movement, especially down their right-hand side. But they're having a trouble with momentum, consistency, killing teams off. And I think if Watford can get some form out over this Christmas period, they, I think, could be a slight little dark horse here in the top half of the table, who knows? But if they don't sort out that consistency, get a little bit of momentum and get some back-to-back wins, they're going to be that mid-table team as the last few seasons have shown. So I don't know how to really judge Watford. Depends what team turns up on the day. A bit like Blues when we play away. Who on earth's going to turn up? But when they turn it on, I tell you, Watford can play some football, Dad.
Well, they're only 1 point behind us. They're 14th in the table going into the game. That will change because this is a Monday night fixture. So obviously, by the time we go into this fixture, the Saturday and any Sunday fixtures would have happened as well. But as things stand now, just after the West Brom game for us, they're 14th on 24. We are 9th on 25. But there are 3 teams on 24 points and 4 teams on 25 points, 2 teams on 26 and 2 teams on 27. So even Watford in 14th place are 3 points off 5th.
Welcome to the Championship.
Welcome to the Championship. But their form is really good. I mean, they've only lost 2 of the last 11.
Wow.
So you know, that's good for them. And obviously, they changed their manager. Javi Gracia came back. And he seems to have really sorted them out. I mean, they are drawing a few games. So even though they've only lost 2 of the last 11, they've drawn 3 of the last 4. But their losses, those 2 losses, were away at Sheffield United and away to Coventry. So you know, and they've got away. But the only thing is, they've only won once away. I think it was in their last game. They won away. Not last game. Is it the last game?
Derby.
Yeah, they beat Derby
3-2.
They beat Derby 3-2.
They scored 2 late goals, I believe.
Yeah, they did. Derby 2-1 up, didn't they?
They were.
But that was their own. That's their only away win. So they've got a worse away record than us, which is really hard to do at the moment.
Right.
So they're a team that I think, I agree with you. I think these have the potential to challenge for the playoffs. They got the second best home record in the division, and obviously we know we go there New Year's Day, don't we? They've got 18 points from their 9 games. We've got 17, so we're third, but they're second. Away form, they're second worst. So
right.
So there's only Portsmouth below them. Well, in fact, they're equal worst. So Sheffield Wednesday, Watford, and Portsmouth all have 6 points away from home, and we're just above that on away form.
So it sounds like we're having similar seasons. Ish.
Yeah, well, I think the league table shows that as well. They're 1 point behind us, so exactly. So I think they're in our range of teams, aren't they?
Yes. But though that, from a Blues perspective here, if you want to make the playoffs or you want to make a higher end table push, you need to beat these teams.
Yes,
especially at home. You need to beat those teams around you. That is so key in the season, especially going into this Christmas break that's coming. Christmas build up. Sorry, that's coming up. So we need to be winning these games.
We do. Especially I mean, they've scored 2 less goals than us, so they scored 23 goals, which is about 8th highest in the league. We've scored 25, and we're the 5th. And they are sort of mid-table for defence. They've conceded 21 goals in their games. We've conceded 19. So there is real, very sort of closeness between the teams.
But again, now what you're describing here is fine margins, isn't it? And small gaps, which is what the Championship's about. If you can lower those little small gaps between the teams around you, that's when you start to break away a little bit or start to build up. Or if you lose those little margins, it's when you drop down. The Championship's such a close and tight league. But for me, Dad, when I look at Watford and how they're playing and it's a team we have to be wary of, but it's a team in my opinion, we have to be beating because of the home form that we have, because they're around us in the table. And as I said, this is how you start to get a little bit of a momentum and build.
Because of our away format, it puts pressure on our home games, don't you think? It puts pressure on us to actually keep winning at home, because if we don't and we drop points at home, suddenly away defeats become a big problem, don't they?
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. But what I like about Watford, Dad, is I feel the Championship, a lot of teams we've played at the moment, they exploit the wings, and rightly so. The wings are a great strategy to get in the final third, get balls in the box. Watford don't do that as much. They do utilise their wide players, but they're very direct through the middle. They're quite intense. They're quite aggressive. They do like nice, sexy one-touch football. And look at the goal against Preston. If you've not seen it, it really sums up the Watford attack. If you look at the goal the goal they scored against Preston just in their 1-1 draw, it comes down their right-hand side, which is a very popular theme of Watford. Doumbia, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He scored against Preston. He's a really good player. Saw him score a couple of screamers this season already. But really nice touch from football, overlapping run, plays it down the right, cuts it into the box. Bit of a scrappy end to the goal, but really, really nice football. And that kind of sums Watford up for me. That one-touch football, fast, sleek, going out wide, but often coming in. And, they're a pacey team as well, Dad. So, we talk about the West Brom game and we talk about Iwata having free roam, but then that also having the caveat of leaving us a bit more vulnerable. I think Watford are a team where you can't afford to do that because they have pace, they're direct, and in my opinion, they will punish you. However, actually, there was a highlight. It was Watford were at home, I think it was. It wasn't against Preston, it was the game before. And someone shoots, it comes across, goalkeeper saves it, it drops to their player about, 6 to 8 yards out, and he spoons it over the bar. It really was a sitter. But
you showed me that.
Yeah, I showed you when we watched in the build-up to the West Brom game.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of sums up Watford. Really good football, really, progressive, get the ball in the box, score goals, and then they go and do stuff like that, and that makes them vulnerable. Sometimes they don't capitalise on their chances, and defensively as well, and in the midfield, they can have moments of sloppiness and lapses in concentration. So again, from our perspective, we really need to exploit those areas.
I mean, the Iwata situation won't be a problem for this game because he's suspended for us.
Yeah.
But it's still
instructional though.
The sort of thing about setting yourself up is still the same. Is that whoever goes in there have to make sure we don't leave those gaps at the back.
That's what I mean. So whether
sorry, Matt, what I was going to say is you don't sacrifice going forward on the basis that you are going to make yourself considerably vulnerable at the back, which is what we did against West Brom.
Yeah, but that's the point, is that it could be Iwata, Samuel or Laird. If it's instructions from Davies, those need to change or tweak slightly so it doesn't make us so vulnerable. But I don't think it's as big a concern at home because we are a bit more prominent. We impose ourselves a bit more at home, don't we? So I don't feel as vulnerable at home when Iwata's or the right back or whoever's making those sort of rogue runs and stuff. But away from home, it definitely makes us that extra bit vulnerable. Really good point though, Dad. And again, with Watford's pace, we just need to be wary of that.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned some good stuff actually, Matt, about them. They're very strong from direct free kicks as well. That's one of their attributes. So obviously they've got people who can hurt you from those positions. They're good at coming back from losing positions. So I don't think they'll worry too much if they go a goal down. And as you said, they take long shots, attacking down in fact, both flanks really. They're quite strong, left and right.
The right especially,
and they're quite aggressive as a team as well. But I mean, obviously, since Javi Gracia comes in, he's changed the system, and it's hard to predict because in the Derby game they played a 4-2-3-1 like us, but at Preston they played a 4-4-2.
How did they?
So they had Doumbia, who you mentioned up front, with Kermagard. I love what I think about Watford. One thing I always think about Watford, they're really good at recruiting players from from other countries, So you saw some of these players, they bring them in. Who on earth is that? And they suddenly turn out to be brilliant players, don't they? They've got Mama on their left wing. He's pacey as well. And Kayembe on their right wing. And their sixes are Luza, who's a great player, and Hector Cipriano, who they got from Peterborough as well.
He scored against us at Wembley, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But what I'm saying is, like all teams in this league, there's good players. This is the Championship. Whichever way you look at it, it's a fantastic quality league. It's one of the best in the world. And this is the second tier of English football. And you look at a team like Watford, and you see their players, and you see that the way that they recruit, and you know for a fact they're going to be fluid. In fact, actually, last time I remember when in our relegated season, I think under Rooney, we lost against them, and it was he used to play for Manchester. Cleverly, it was his first game in charge, first game as a mate. They beat us 1-0.
Right.
And obviously, we by that point we was on a downward spiral because we had Rooney anyway, didn't we? But let's not go there. Their top scorer at the moment is Loser. loser. He's got that's a strange name. It's a sad name for a footballer, loser, isn't it? But he's got 6 goals. Then Kermagard has got 5. And then Nagatia 2, but Loser's also got 4 assists, so he seems to be their danger man. And Ngatia has got 3, and Vata has got 2 assists. So, like all teams, Matt, we get to this stage of the league now. Now we're 17 games in. We've got a good feel for what's happening with the teams. The opposition, the quality of the teams, and Watford are a team to really watch as well. They've brought in obviously Cipriano. And I think that's a good signing because he's one for the future. Because we had the benefit of seeing him in League One, didn't we?
Peterborough got raided, didn't they?
Yeah,
they've lost Ricky J Jones, they've lost Poku, they've lost Cipriano, they've lost even more players.
Muddersfield
as well. They've lost
yeah.
a lot of their real big key players, haven't they? But I like that player, by the way, Cipriano. I think he's a good player.
Yeah,
he's a good midfielder. He's a good 6. I remember watching him against Peterborough, thinking actually he's a decent player.
Yeah.
He weren't bad at all, was he? But I think the one thing that comes to my mind, Dad, when I think about a Watford team, and this is actually quite a historical Watford DNA, in my opinion, is pace and speed, and dynamic. They're always a good team on the counter, on the transitions, on the break, aren't they? They really do, and are capable of punishing you in those environments and situations.
Yeah, I always think of Watford like that. I say this will be. I think this will be our toughest home game for a while. Obviously, we've come off the back of Portsmouth, Millwall, and Norwich, and with the greatest respect to all them. I mean, Millwall I expected more from because of where they are in the league. But I think this will be more of a challenge for us.
Yeah, I
can't see us scoring 4 goals against these, but like you say, we are at home, and we've got to take advantage of that. So should we go to the Blues?
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely, Dad. So obviously we go into this off the back of the 1-1 draw with West Brom. So again, as always, should we talk through the team, what we think we would start with, and then go?
Yeah, before we do that, just to start, I think that we've played on the Wednesday and now we play on the Monday, so I think there's enough breathing space in there not to necessarily rotate too much, because when you get those block of games quickly, you seem to sort of have to rotate. So I think we'll see quite a similar team actually to West Brom. But do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
So I'll go for Beadle in goal. Again, wide change if it's not broken. Cochrane left back, Neumann and Clara in the centre backs. And because of a Water suspension, I'm going to put a Soy Samuel back at right back.
I think most people would suggest that, because who else is that? Because Laird's injured, so it has to be him, really, doesn't it?
He does. I would say so.
Yeah. So
I guess we've got Samstead, who can play right back, but he's playing in the under-21s at the moment, so I don't think he's anywhere near the first team.
No,
so.
I think Samstead's gone. I think he'll be gone in January. He'll be gone in January.
Soy Samuel for me down at the right back position.
Okay. So then, if I do the midfield, I might do the midfield and the front.
Start in the 60s and make your way up.
Yeah, I'd love to see Leonard back, but I know that the dilemma is that Paik is a first choice. I mean, don't get me wrong, Paik's a very good player, but I just feel sorry for Leonard in as much as I don't think he deserved to be dropped against West Brom.
Also, that I think the chemistry between Leonard and Doyle's a little bit more on fire. They read each other's games a little bit better, just in my opinion.
But we know as well that Chris Davies, Paik and Awata, if they're available, they're going to be in the team. They're going to be in goal if they have to be.
Agreed.
So I think it will be once again. I think it'll be Paik and Doyle. I mean, you could do Paik and Leonard, but I don't think they'll, because Doyle's playing too well. I mean, you can't drop Doyle.
Man of the match against West Brom.
Yeah, I mean, that's questionable, wasn't it? But he played all right. I mean, I don't think anybody deserved to be man of the match, to be honest. But I suppose you have to pick one.
Doyle was good. He controls the game.
I think
well.
in the last half an hour, that's when we started to tick. Though when he started to tick, we started to tick.
Yeah.
But I think for this game, it's going to be. I'm going to go for Paik and Doyle. Dimmy on the left. He took a little knock if he's fit. If not, it'd be Keshi, but I'm going to go for Dimmy. Patrick Roberts, who I think is a fantastic player, on the right. I'm going to go for the same again. I'm going to go for Duxin the Nice, Dano in the 10.
Yeah, I have no other notes to add, Dad. My only thing would have been I would like to see Leonard and Doyle back in the 60s. And again, I love Paik. I think Paik's a great player. This isn't about Paik. It's just about how good Leonard's been for me.
Yeah.
This isn't about me not liking Paik or not wanting him to play. And also, Dad, I think you highlighted a really important message in the West Brom game. What kind of message does it send to the team when, regardless of form or how impact you're having, another player gets in over you? In my opinion, if you earn that shirt, it's yours to lose. You don't just lose it when someone comes back. So I'm not necessarily knocking Chris Davies here. He's the manager. I trust him. But I'm just making a point that I don't think that's necessarily the best approach to what message that it sends a message to Paik that he's undroppable,
and also sends a message to Leonard that no matter what you do, you're not going to get in my team. I know, and Chris Davies has to make the decisions. Of course he does, and that's what he's paid to do. And sometimes players will have to just take it because you can only pick 11.
Yeah, of course.
So at the end of the day, he's got to make tough decisions sometimes. So if I trust Chris Davis. If he thinks that that's the right thing, I'll go with that. But I do look at what Lennon's done in the last couple of games since Pake's been injured, and I think he's done nothing wrong. No. And in fact, he's made us quite good. So I think that's a shame that he's been dropped. But Pake is a good
also on a
player as well.
Pake's outstanding. I have nothing against Pake. It's just if you are playing well and earning your shirt, you can't lose it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But on a note, Dad, what a coming of age story Mark Leonard's becoming. I think he's started with us in League One. We all knew he was a good player because he was on loan at Northampton the previous year in League One, and he was absolutely fantastic. Came to us. Had moments in the team, didn't really get a consistent run, but when he has shown his consistent run in the Championship, I mean, apart from Middlesbrough, I think he was a little bit underwhelming at Middlesbrough, fine. Everyone's entitled to a bad game, but look at Bristol City, look at the game, last home game we won 4-1, Norwich.
Yeah.
Mark Leonard was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think he's becoming a real good player for us. I would like to see him start, but if Pake starts, I won't be upset about it. I'd just be bothered that it's not the right message to the team that has been sending out.
No, it's not. So what about score prediction now?
So I'm going to go for a little bit of a curveball here, I think. I think this could end up being a draw. Okay. I've gone for Birmingham City 2, Watford 2.
Yeah, I think with our home advantage and our home form, Watford are a good team. They are going to be a different challenge compared to the ones we've had recently, because I think this will be tougher. I've gone for a home win. I've gone 2-1. Yeah. A 2-1, because I think they're always capable of scoring. I was thinking 3-1, but I'm thinking no. Even though we scored loads and loads of goals, we're not going to score four goals every game, as much as we'd love to. So I've got 2-1.
Can I just justify, by the way, I'm not giving it a 2-2 because of the 1-1 draw at West Brom and a little bit of an underwhelming performance. If anything, maybe it's a little bit of a nod to the strengths of Watford. Actually, if anything, I'm not saying that the wheels are falling off or I'm pessimistic all of a sudden. Absolutely not. I'm just, maybe paying Watford a bit too much respect. I don't know, but I just got a feeling there's going to be goals in this. It's going to be quite end to end again, intense, fast, speedy football, and I've just got a feeling it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Well, I toyed with 3-2, but I thought
I toyed with 3-2 actually, and then
but I thought in the end I think 2-1 is probably about right. But at the end of the day, as long as we get 3 points, I don't care if it's 1-0 or whatever. So any other final comments?
No, looking forward to that. I like playing Watford. I think they always give us a good game. It's always quite exciting games against Watford. I quite like their style of football. I'm obviously, of course, want those 3 points, especially being the home team. Hopefully, we can get those 3 points. But look forward to getting down St. Andrews on a Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night under the lights, St. Andrews. It's great atmosphere always on the night games. So really looking forward to it. But as always, we'd love to know your thoughts, Birmingham City supporters. Let us know in the comments below what you think about the team selection or maybe a predicted score. And if you're a Watford fan, if you've come across this channel for the first time, we also welcome comments from fans from the opposition team. So as long as the comments are respectful, not abusive, then please add your comments below. We are a family podcast, so we try and ensure that all comments are, not offensive or aggressive. If you did like this podcast, as always, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't checked us out on our social media channels already, then pop along to our X page and our Instagram page. And if you like to watch or listen to your podcast on Spotify, you'll also find us on there as well. And you'll see the handles appearing on the screen for all these channels right now. If you haven't subscribed already to the channel, you'd like to, and there's no obligation to do so, but if you'd like to, hit that big red subscribe button, and if you want to hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button, it'll give you a notification every time we put a new podcast out. So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and myself and Matt will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.